Good morning, guys. Well, it's morning for me. I don't know what time it is for you. But you're back for another episode of 5 with Graham. Let's full screen real quick and try to learn something in the next 5 minutes that's useful. We'll talk about area and perimeter of squares and rectangles today. And it's not so hard, and this hopefully is a quick review for most of you. And if it's something that you don't remember at all, okay, that's alright. Pay close attention. Start the timer. Here we go. Now, one thing you may want to know about area is that when you're younger, they'll often ask you how much of one thing can fit into another thing. For example, we're talking about these squares right here. How much of these little squares would you think could fit into this bigger square? And the best way to figure that out is to use your eyes and start placing them. So maybe we should start placing these squares in the bigger square. We could fit one in there. We could fit a second in there. Maybe you can already see how many we could fit total. We could fit 3 in there. And if you haven't figured it out yet, it looks like we can fit 4 in there. So the area of this square would probably be something like 4 square units, because we fit 4 of those little squares inside the bigger square. Typically, though, as a big kid, they're going to be asking you to do some multiplication. And when you find the area of a square right here, or a rectangle over here, you're going to have to do some multiplication. You're going to multiply the width times the length, and that'll equal your area. Basically, all it's asking you to do is to multiply one side by the other side. So this would be like the width and the length of a square, and this would be like the width and the length of a rectangle. With the square, you only need to know what one side is, because in the square, all sides are equal. So you would just do 3 times 3, because all of those sides are 3. So the area of our first square is 3 times 3 equals 9. 9 units squared. And the area of our rectangle up here would be 4 times 11. So here we go. 4 times 11, that equals, anybody know the 11 times tables? 44 units squared. So area is basically knowing what to multiply. One side by the other side. One side by the other adjacent side. Not the opposite side, the adjacent side. Let's move on. Perimeter is similar, but not exactly the same. You'll be giving sides, but you don't multiply necessarily one side by the other. You're supposed to add all the sides up. And since we know that in a square, all the sides are equal, the perimeter of this square would be 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, for all 4 sides that are 5. And that would equal 20. Perhaps you're thinking, hey, couldn't I just do 5 times 4 because there's 4 sides, Mr. Graham? And I would say, yes, you can. You would still get 20. Good for you. In a rectangle, it's not quite as simple because opposite sides are the same. So this side over here is 12, and this side over here is 4. And that's because we were already given this 12 and this 4, and opposite sides are the same in rectangles. So we could do, to find the perimeter of this rectangle, 12 plus 12 plus 4 plus 4 equals, or we could do 2 separate problems, kinda. 12 times 2 plus 4 times 2. Oops, let me put the other parentheses. My mistake. There you go. And they would both get us the same answer. They would. 12 plus 12 is 24. Plus 4 is 28. Plus 4 is 32. And over here, if we did 12 times 2, we'd get 24. And then if we did 4 times 2, we'd get 8. And 8 plus 24 also equals 32. So we're adding all the sides together, guys. That's basically what perimeter is. Now sometimes you might notice that you'll get the same perimeter for two different rectangles, but they'll still have a different area. Or you might get the same area, but they'll still have a different perimeter. Just because the area is the same for two rectangles, or the perimeter is the same for two rectangles, doesn't mean that it'll have the same perimeter and the same area. Oh darn, that's our timer. Let me go through this very quickly. The perimeter of this shape is 8 plus 8 plus 2 plus 2, and that gives us 20. So P equals 20, that's perimeter. And the perimeter of this shape is 7 plus 7 plus 3 plus 3. If you add all that up, you will get 20 again. I promise, add it up. Check yourself. But if we multiply for the area, we'll get 8 times 2, which would equal 16. And if we multiply for this area, we'll get 7 times 3, which would equal 21. So as you can see, we have the same perimeter in these two rectangles, but we have different areas. Same perimeter, but different areas. The same thing is going on the other side of the screen. You have 6, 3, and 2, 9. If we multiply those out, 6 times 3 equals what, kids? For the area, 6 times 3 equals 18. And then down here, the area would be 2 times 9. And 2 times 9 equals, know your times tables, 2 times 9, 2 times 9, 18. But if we add it up for perimeter, we get 6 plus 6, which equals 12, plus 3 plus 3. The perimeter over here is, coincidentally, 18. But the perimeter in this shape, 9 plus 9 plus 2 plus 2, that's 18 plus 4, that's 22. So as you can see, once again, we've got, oops, sorry, wrong button. As you can see, once again, we've got two rectangles where this time the area is the same. We multiplied and figured out the area is the same, but their perimeters to each other, compared to each other, they're different perimeters. Alright guys, we're over our time. That was very quick. Remember, this is meant to be as a review or a look ahead if you're very anxious. For more information, you can replay this lesson, you can pause it on certain parts, or you can pay attention in class for the longer versions. That's 5 minutes with Mr. Graham. Thanks a lot, guys. Alright, bye.